frankly, just being heard can make all the difference. That's it, just being heard.
Somebody asked me one time, and I don't remember the exact question, but it was something along the lines of, what do you want? How do you want people to respond to survivors of these kind of events? And I just said, just believe them. Believe their experience. We do generally a poor job of believing us when someone tells us something awful has happened. And there are all sorts of reasons that we can't even start to get into. But just, the thing about the Post-Disaster Mental Health Response Act is it gave me an opportunity to talk about, yes, it's important to have these crisis counseling services and support after these disasters. But the other piece of it that's really important is if we actually start talking about it and validate people's experience, fewer people will probably need formal mental health treatment because they'll recognize, oh, it's normal to feel this way after a disaster, after a bombing, after a wildfire, after an earthquake. It's normal to be stressed. Okay, well, how do I normally deal with stress? Who are my normal, what's in my normal toolbox? And when we don't validate it and we don't help people understand what you're feeling is normal, then people can feel really afraid that, I felt, oh my God, this means there's something wrong with me. And I think people are still afraid of, this means I'm going to get PTSD. This means I'm going to have to go see a therapist and I don't want to. And it doesn't mean all of those things for everybody. It might mean that for some people. But if we can just do the work to even just validate those experiences and believe people when they say this is what's happening to them.
Yes.
I think that would go a long way to helping a lot of people.
Yes. I couldn't agree more. And in the vein of leadership, I think we also don't talk about some of the workplace trauma that happens.
Yes. And yes. And nobody likes to have uncomfortable conversations because otherwise they would be comfortable. And
yes.
And these, the kind of conversations of, I was bullied in the workplace and I didn't know it until later, but I remember just feeling like I can't trust my leaders and I can't trust them to take care of me. And, I know other people who had experiences even more dire than the one that I had. And you think, why is this still happening? Why can't we talk about it?
Yes.
And not to get super political, but one of the things I think about is, okay, we're not talking about this. Why aren't we talking about it? Who benefits from us not talking about this? And that is a lens through which I see some of these activities.
And I think that's very wise for whenever you're trying to figure out why a problem persists and you can't figure out why. Who benefits from this? Who actually gets more from it? So I think that's a very savvy way of looking at the world.
It doesn't make it easy to change, but at least it helps. It helps with some understanding sometimes of what's going on.
Yes. Well, it helps give you a why.
Yeah.
It may not give you any answer, but it might give you an inkling as to the why.
Mm-hmm.